What's up guys, my name is Allison. In today's video I'm going to be sharing all my favorite fungal acne safe makeup products with you today. If you haven't seen them already, I have a bunch of other skincare videos that focus on malassezia, folliculitis, and how I treat my acne, my fungal acne. So if you're interested, please go check those out. But this video is going to be all about makeup. So I always leave a little description about my skin type in the description box for my relevant videos now, but TLDR, my skin type is dry and prone to an overgrowth of malassezia. I personally was able to clear up the vast majority of my fungal acne by using fungal acne safe skincare products. And in terms of makeup, I've been using a fungal acne safe foundation for a while now, but for concealer, eye products, bronzer, blush, I never really looked at those ingredients and made sure that those were fungal acne safe. I thought it would be fun to try out a full face of fungal acne safe makeup and just test the products out to see if I liked them, if I could use them every day, and if they actually made a difference in my skin. I do have like a little bit of remaining texture on my forehead, which is pretty much gone down. At this point, honestly, it's really hard for me to tell. I mean, skin is going to have some texture, but I know a lot of people are on the search for a completely full fungal acne safe routine, including like shampoo and all of that, body wash. Again, this video only covers makeup, but I still hope that it helps you guys out. It's been about 2 weeks now since I started researching and purchasing and using all fungal acne safe products, so I feel like I have a good number of products to share with you guys today. So let's just get right into it. So starting with Complexion, again, I mentioned that I have already been using a foundation that's fungal acne safe that I really like. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but it's the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. I use mine in the shade 52 Vanilla if you're wondering. And again, I mentioned that my skin is super dry and I personally am not looking for a ton of coverage in my Complexion products. So that's why I think this foundation is amazing. Most fungal acne safe complexion products, I want to say, are on the more full coverage side that are like a bit harder to blend, probably due to the lack of esters and oils in them. I'm not sure what exactly is in this product that makes it so spreadable and nice and sheer and dewy, but if you're like me and you like that more natural finish to your skin, then I highly recommend this for those of you who have fungal acne, or anyone in general actually. In terms of other products I tried, the only other base product I used like this was the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil. I'm actually gonna have a full review up on that soon. I recorded it, so stay tuned for that product if you're interested. That one is also a really great product for a natural finish, but I just found it to be a little too sheer and a little too dry, where it almost looked a little bit cakey when I tried to build it up. Moving on to concealer, this is probably the category where I spent the most time going back and forth on trying to decide what my favorite was and what I liked about each product. The three fungal acne safe concealers that I've tried over the past few weeks are the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer, the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer, and the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer. Right off the bat, the Benefit one was my least favorite concealer, and I've already returned that one actually. Honestly, all three of these concealers are pretty similar. I think the Benefit one was just on the furthest end of the spectrum, where it was the most full coverage and a little bit drier and just didn't really sit as well on my skin. While testing all of these base products, I got pretty hyper aware of the color match of the products that I was using on my base. I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera or what you guys think. I think it looks like a pretty good match. And in general, what I've realized is that your face doesn't have to match the rest of your body perfectly. People won't really notice, and it's only when you're looking super closely that you'll be able to see like a difference in tone. But that was the main reason why I was going back and forth between these two, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer and the Fenty Pro Filter. I actually prefer the formula on the NYX concealer a little bit better than the Fenty one, and I'm glad because it's a lot cheaper. The main reason I was going back and forth is because of the shade range. The shade range for the Fenty concealers is amazing. They really cover a wide range in terms of lightness to darkness, but also undertone, which is really important. I actually have two shades of the NYX concealer. This one is in Vanilla and this one is in Alabaster. I think if they had a shade in between these two, it would probably be the closest match for me, but I think I can definitely get away with wearing Vanilla. It's what I'm wearing today in conjunction with the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. This one also isn't a perfect match for me. It's a little bit pinkier, peachier than what my skin tone actually is, but because it's on the sheer side, you honestly really can't tell. But again, this concealer is really nice, and so is the Fenty one, don't get me wrong, but I do think this one looks a little bit smoother and a little bit nicer on my skin and my under eyes, And I also find that it lasts a bit longer on my skin. I feel like I notice a bit more coverage and bronzer on my skin at the end of the day than when I used the Fenty one. But yeah, going into the concealer category, I was really nervous because again, I have super dry skin. The previous concealer that I had been using on my under eyes is like very, very dewy. And I was actually pretty surprised to find that both of these sit really well under the eyes and they provide good coverage. They're nice and smoothing. They blend well into the skin. I would say if you can find your shade in the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer, definitely check this out. You do have to keep in mind that this one just oxidizes quite a bit. Let's see if you can see the difference in color in the tube. The NYX one looks pretty light even compared to the Fenty one, but this one oxidizes even more to be darker than this shade. I would also say that this concealer sets a bit more than the Fenty one, and I don't actually find that I necessarily need to set this with powder. But if you have a skin type like mine and you like to use a translucent setting powder, then I would highly recommend the Hourglass Translucent Veil Setting Powder. That one is Fungal Acne Safe, and I think there are a couple of other translucent setting powders that are, but the Hourglass one is definitely the best. Okay, let's move on to like bronzer, contour products. I was excited to see that this product was safe for fungal acne. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder. I have mine in the shade medium. This is one of those cult favorites and I've had mine in my collection for a while now. I stopped using it for a while just because I started to use a bronzer as an all over bronzer contour, but I've been really liking this lately because I'll just go in with a little bit of this to give me some definition and shadows, and then I will go into my new favorite bronzer, which is a bit on the warm side. So this is the Huda Beauty Tantour, which is a contour and bronzer cream. I've heard a lot about this and have been meaning to pick it up, and when I realized that this was one of the few fungal acne safe bronzers on the market, I had to pick it up. This is what the shade looks like. I have the shade Fair. It's a really nice color. It has a bit of a yellow tone and it's really warm on the skin, but not like orangey or anything like that. And let me just say that regardless of being fungal acne safe, this has become my new favorite bronzer. Oh, and again, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but I am wearing all of these, at least my favorite products, on my face today. So I have the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder on, and then I put a little bit of the Tantour on top. But there's just something really special about the formula of this product. It feels very creamy to the touch, but it honestly applies more like a powder. Like if you can imagine the creamiest, most finely milled powder bronzer, how I would imagine that to apply is exactly how this applies. I really love that I can apply this with a brush. I just take my Real Techniques contour brush and then I swirl it lightly in the pan, and using light pressure I just buff it in really easily into my face, and it really just blends out so easily. This is a pretty pigmented product, which is why I normally just really lightly swirl my brush into it. But there have been times where I accidentally picked up too much product, but even with so much product on my face, it just blended out super easily. But yeah, fungal acne safe or not, I highly recommend this product in general. Another thing that I really like to use this product for is to put some bronzer in the crease of my eye. Because I don't actually have any eyeshadow palettes that are fungal acne safe, I didn't have like a nice brown color to use as a transition to give my crease some depth. So this is a really great product to also use for that. I did have one other bronzer in my collection already that was fungal acne safe. It's the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze Powder Bronzer in the shade Fair to Light. This is a pretty interesting product, but when I compare the two, the Huda one definitely takes the cake for my favorite. In general, I really like baked products like these. I feel like they just have a really smooth texture to them and have a bit more dimension. And this bronzer definitely does have some dimension. It's not a completely flat bronzer or contour color. I bought it for that reason. I wanted something that I could be able to wear every day as something that wasn't too warm, that'd be really natural looking and wasn't completely flat. So I think this definitely checks all of those boxes. But personally, I don't love the effect that this has on my skin. I think I do prefer something, one, a little bit deeper, and two, I feel like the powder just kind of sits on top of my skin a little bit, and because it has that little bit of sheen, it doesn't look quite natural. Like it doesn't actually look like a shadow on my face. So for those reasons, I think I finally figured out that this personally isn't the right bronzer for me, and I'm going to be passing this one along. All right, let's move on to blush. I have one blush to talk about, and I'm pretty sure this one is fungal acne safe on Simple Skincare Science. There was a little asterisk. I'm not sure what that was for, but I still think it's a great option if you're looking for a blush that's fungal acne safe, mostly because it's actually like one of my favorite blush formulas. This is the Nude Sticks Nudies All Over Face Color, and this one is in the shade In the Nude. I got this one recently, and I think this is just the perfect pinky peachy nude. Again, this is one of those products that I purchased and used and loved before I actually considered whether or not it was fungal acne safe, so I really recommend this product. I think the formula is similar to the Huda Beauty one, and that it works really well with the brush, and you can just pick up some product and really easily blend it into your skin. It doesn't feel quite as thin and powder-like as the Huda Beauty one when you're applying it, but overall this is a really great cream blush, and especially if you have skin that is either on the dry side or a bit on the more oily side, I think you might really like it because it's just like right down the middle as like a natural satin kind of finish. The best fungal acne safe highlighter is of course the one that I'm wearing, and it's the Glossier Night Shine. I was honestly kind of disappointed in it when I first got it and the couple of times I first started using it, but once I figured out my preferred way of applying it, it's definitely become one of my favorite highlighters and is definitely, I would say, the best fungal acne safe highlighter. I have mine in the shade Pale Pearl, and as you can see, it's really reflective. It does have a lot of that pearl in it, which gives a lot of dimension, so I feel like that actually makes it a little bit harder to apply sometimes, because if the like metallic bits are too strong, then it doesn't look natural, it doesn't really blend into the skin, and it emphasizes texture. I want to say that the formula of this is kind of like the concealers where they're a bit harder to blend out. I feel like this product just kind of stays where you put it on your skin. So the first couple of times that I was applying it, I was just adding little dots to my skin. For some reason, it was really hard for me to blend out those dots. It would just look really heavy and wasn't a cute look. So I discovered my favorite way of applying it is to take some out of the bottle and put the dough applicator on the back of my hand, and then use my beauty sponge to pick up the product and really press it into the sponge. So that way when I press it into my skin with the sponge, it's a lot more diffused and isn't applying a bunch of product to just one area. So I think that's it for all of the Complexion products. Let me just take off my glasses and make myself blind, just so you guys can see how all of the makeup looks on my skin. I'm personally really happy with the finish of everything. I feel like I'm able to get that natural makeup look with all of these products. Oh, one last thing I wanted to mention was setting spray. I had been using my Cover FX Dewy Setting Spray for the past couple of months, thinking that it was fungal acne safe, but I checked again recently and apparently it is not. So I'm really sad about that. That setting spray is really nice, makes you look really dewy, and it also has a really nice spray. But because it's not fungal acne safe, I did want to pick up another one, but I decided to pick up the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I'm going to have to keep giving this a try. I was using this for a couple days, but I had to stop because I wanted to figure out how the concealers and all of the products were looking on its own. Alcohol is the second ingredient in it, which isn't my favorite for dry skin, but I think that's supposed to help make your makeup last. So yeah, let me know if you've tried the setting spray. There's another one by Becca that I wanted to try, so I'll probably pick that up whenever Ulta or Sephora has their next sale. Okay, the last category that I wanted to go over is eyes. So let's just start with eyebrows really quick. I was honestly expecting my eyebrow pencils to be fungal acne safe, but apparently they're not, so I had to pick up a new eyebrow product. I didn't want to spend a whole lot on an eyebrow product, so I picked up this one by e.l.f. and I'll have to look up the name, but it's their brow pomade cream. And I was kind of skeptical about this. I felt like I had already figured out a brow routine that really worked for me, but I actually find this to be a really great product. I think especially if you need your brows to last a really long time, or if you need them to be waterproof or something, then I would definitely try checking this product out. I feel like it's kind of a theme among all of these different fungal acne safe products. They tend to be a little bit harder to just wash off with water, a little bit harder to blend, and I feel like that is the case with this brow product. This is what the inside of the pot looks like. I've just been using a little angled brush with it, and I think the main thing that you just have to be aware of with using this product is that you have to go in with a light hand. It's very pigmented, so every time I dip my brush into it, I make sure to take some of the excess product off on the back of my hand, and then I will go and put it in my brows. You just want to make sure that you're applying a little bit of product at a time, because again, it is a little bit harder to blend out. A lot of other people mentioned in the reviews, and I agree with them, that the colors on this product run pretty dark. I think mine is in the shade medium brown, which is the lightest shade that they sold at Ulta, but I do think they have one or two lighter shades online. So yeah, I've honestly been pretty happy with how my brows have been coming out ever since using this product. I do think it's really nice and easy to get that clean edge that I like in brows, since I'm using a brush to apply the product. It just takes a little bit more time and is a bit harder to control. I did actually have a Fungal Acne Safe brow gel already in my collection, and it's the Essence Make Me Brow. This is a pretty decent brow gel. I would say the applicator is probably my least favorite out of the ones that I've tried, just because I feel like it picks up so much product on the brush. But other than that, I feel like this product is pretty unique because it has little fibers in it that are supposed to give more volume to your brows. I have mine in the shade 3 Soft Brownie Brows, but I probably should actually be using the shade darker. The shade range isn't that great for this product. I feel like the difference between number 3 and number 4 are really big. But since this brow product is pretty dark, I feel like these actually balance each other out a little bit. So I would say if you're really set on getting a fully fungal acne safe makeup routine, then this brow gel definitely does the job. But in general, it's just not my favorite brow gel that I've ever used. Okay, so moving on to eyes itself. Again, I didn't find any eyeshadow palettes that I saw were fungal acne safe. I don't know if there are any, but what I realized is that there are a couple of potted eyeshadow formulas that are fungal acne safe. I mentioned that I like to use the Huda Beauty Tantour as like a crease color, and then what I've been going in with are one of these little potted shadows. This one is the Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Shadow, and then this one is the L'Oreal 24-Hour Infallible Eyeshadow. So I will say that my L'Oreal eyeshadows are pretty old, so I feel like they've dried out a little bit and they're not my favorite to use right now. I think if you got a brand new product, these are really nice. They're quite similar to the Hourglass ones, but they're more pigmented and more metallic than glittery. And of course, the Hourglass Scattered Light product is beautiful. I've been using the one in Smoke a lot. For eyeliner, I definitely have to give it up for the Marc Jacobs Highliner Matte Gel Eye Crayon. Especially this one in the shade Earthquake has been my absolute favorite lately. The formula on this eyeliner is phenomenal because it's very creamy and easy to draw on. It sets very quickly, but you have a little bit of time to smudge and blend things out a little bit, and once it sets, it really sets. I've been really liking using this for a really natural winged eyeliner look. I feel like the brown color is the perfect amount of depth and softness, and because it's a pencil, you can make it look a little bit softer but still defined as well. So this is another product that I think is phenomenal on its own, and I was really excited to see that it was fungal acne safe. The last product that I have to talk about is mascara. Now this one isn't fungal acne safe. I think there is one ingredient in it that doesn't make the cut, but again, I don't know how important it is to have a fungal acne safe mascara. For me, I have Asian lashes and it's already hard enough to find a good mascara, so I didn't want to have to go out and buy a mascara that was fungal acne safe just for the sake of this video. This is the one out of all of my mascaras that had the least number of offensive ingredients, and it just so happens to be one of my favorite mascaras of all time. I haven't used another mascara that really separates my lashes and just makes them look as volumized as this one does. So that's about it for this video. Unfortunately, I don't have any fungal acne safe lip products. I don't know if any exist, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some new products to try. Leave me a comment below if there is any product that you really love that's fungal acne safe that I didn't mention in this video, and maybe I will go try it out. It would mean so much to me if you liked this video and subscribed if you haven't already. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next one. Bye.